What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan. I'm a CPA, and today I want to talk about what kind of businesses do millionaires own, or what kind of businesses do they have. And this is just representative of our company because our company is a tax company, so we see all of our clients' financials, their their net worth information, the types of businesses they have. So this data is gathered from our company only, and it's not a representation of the country, of the world. It's just what I see within our company. So just take this with a grain of salt. And I'm going to list these off in no particular order and talk a little bit about each one. But really the main thing is, being one of these professions does not guarantee that you'll make a lot of money. It does not guarantee that you'll become a millionaire. Those two things actually come from exceeding expectations, putting your best self forth, and having good discipline with money. The professions I'm going to talk about today are likely not going to be surprising, and I'm really just talking about people who own businesses. There are tons of high-earning W-2 jobs out there, but today I'm going to just talk about business owners and the businesses that they started. All right, so the first one right now is a doctor who owns their own private practice. Now, this is not surprising, right? Doctors go through tons of schooling, and they need to get a ton of experience through residency before they can maybe feel comfortable starting their own practice. Maybe even after residency, they work under a medical practice or hospital for a while before they get comfortable. So usually what I see is doctors that are a little older who start their own practice, and because they have their own practice and they have more experience, they can obviously charge a lot of money. Insurance is involved in this industry, so insurance, if the practice accepts insurance, it almost guarantees payment, although even not really as much as they would charge, but it almost guarantees payments for their services. And most people need doctors, regardless of the kind of doctors that there are out there. But you need either a general practitioner. Some people might need an orthopedic surgeon, or somebody in orthopedics, or a dentist, or orthodontic. Anybody needs some form of medical care. So with a combination of lots of schooling, lots of education, lots of experience, and then starting your own practice with the backing of health insurance, I feel like doctors have a pretty good potential to make a lot of money. And if they're disciplined enough to keep their money, they will become millionaires. The next one is somebody who has real estate business. Now, there are a lot of real estate agents out there. Agents are the ones that just go and buy and sell houses. For regular people, you're looking to buy a house, you contact an agent, or if you have a house already and you want to sell it, you contact an agent. That's not primarily who I see are millionaires. Who I see are millionaires are folks that do a lot of fix and flips, or people that are in wholesaling of real estate. Now, if you don't know what wholesaling is, it's really just buying houses as is for cash at a huge discount, and then selling it to investors. So those are the two primary types of real estate businesses I see that are very high earning and have people that are millionaires. Now, as an aside from that, I see some folks with a huge real estate portfolio that are clearly millionaires because they have 15, 20, 30 rental properties. Some of these clients have come to me already with that portfolio, so I'm not sure, and I'm not familiar with how they got there at first. They could have had higher paying jobs in their past career, but now these folks, they manage these properties full time because they have so many. So either way, there's tons of real estate agents out there, and you can't really make it big in real estate unless you are a hustler. You work a lot, you put your best self forward for your clients, or if you're in fix and flips, you need connections to good contractors and to people who would buy and sell you these houses. Next is an executive level consultant. Now, these are typically people who used to be directors or C-suite executives at small and medium-sized companies. And yes, they may have been earning a pretty decent salary at that point, but once they quit the job and they go into consulting, maybe for the same company that they used to work for or for other companies like it, and consulting at the executive level, then these people can make a ton of money, okay? And usually these folks have the executive mindset, so they are disciplined with their money, they're disciplined with their career, and so they tend to keep a lot of their money and have connections other connections, other CEOs, other CFOs, in their area where they can meet, get hired on as a consultant, and then subsequently make more money. So something to consider. This is not like as easily accessible as the other two, where you can go to school and just go through the motions to be a doctor, or get your real estate license and then go through the motions to break into the market via fix and flips. Getting to a C-suite or director level executive in a company is fairly challenging, but also not impossible. Same thing here. If you hustle, you will more likely get there than not. And the next profession I'm going to talk about today are attorneys. There's lots of kinds of attorneys out there. There's family law attorney, estate planning attorney, contract law, intellectual property law, personal injury attorneys. There's tons of attorneys out there, and some of these types of attorneys make more money than others. And the one I see that makes the most money are personal injury attorneys. And these are attorneys that help represent people who've been in car accidents or other forms of injury, and help sue the perpetrator of the accidents or their insurance company to get them a larger settlement money for their injuries and for their pain and suffering and that kind of thing. The reason these attorneys make a lot of money is because they get a nice little portion of the settlements, usually a third of it. So if you've been in an accident, a minor accident, and you get $100,000, through the process, the attorney gets $33,000 of that just by representing you. And so, as you can see, the more serious the injury, the more money the settlement potential could be, and the more money that the attorneys can make. And I think the prime example of this personal injury attorney is there's that guy in Utah. I'll pull up his picture, but he's got his own Bugatti that he bought from what was his name? Yeah, that's right. The Bugatti he got from Post Malone, that he went through a lawsuit for in order to purchase that thing. But yeah, this, in my practice, we have several personal injury attorneys that are doing very, very well for themselves. And the last profession I'm going to talk about are investors. And not just your normal day traders or anything, but these people have made various investments in either private equity, in businesses throughout their lives, or in real estate. Where we're just generally investing their money in smart investments have made them, a millionaire or more. And so this is a little harder to describe because investing can contain so much in that term. It could be vehicles, real estate, stocks, bonds, private equity. It could be any of those things. But I see that people who've made good investments and have good instincts on those have become very, very wealthy. And this is a good way for you to make money without having to hustle your hours for. You have to hustle your mind and make good decisions, but it's something that is not as labor intensive as the other professions that I mentioned today. So hope this helps you, at least maybe if you're looking to just be curious and learn about what kind of professions out there make a lot of money, or if you're undecided on what kind of career you're looking to go into or change into. Maybe this will help. And again, this is not indicative of the entire nation's statistics. It's just what I see in my company. And also, as a reminder, none of these things guarantee you to be wealthy unless you hustle your ass, put your best self forth, and have good discipline with money. All right? Hope this helps. Y'all take care. Please consider subscribing if you're new here, and smash the like button if you thought this video was helpful, and I'll see you next time.
I've been getting to it when I'm up late. Hit it when you went the front gate. They act like that, no. Hold up. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. Really with it, I ain't got a pump fake. Killer flow and hit them with the one take. Act like that, no. Guess I gotta hit them with the update. Okay. I've been getting to it when I'm up late. Yes, sir. Hit it when you went the front gate.